Baalbek is often referred to as the City of the Sun, or Heliopolis, because it was built in dedication to the god Helios, known as Jupiter, during the Greek and Roman Empire. At this time, Baalbek is a city located east of the Litani River in Lebanon's Bekaa Valley, about 67 kilometers northeast of Beirut. It is the capital of Baalbek-Hermel Governorate. The city is home to the Baalbek Temple complex, which includes two of the largest and grandest Roman temple ruins, the Temple of Bacchus and the Temple of Jupiter. In 1984, it was inscribed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. During Roman rule, this current remote location in the Bekaa Valley of modern-day Lebanon, Roman emperors would travel 1,500 miles to make offerings to their gods and receive oracles on the destiny of their empire. The Baalbek site is thought to have originally been Phoenician, with settlement dating back as far as the 3rd millennium BC. In the 1st millennium BC, the site was chosen as the site for a temple dedicated to the god Baal, from which the city takes its name. In the year 334 BC, Alexander the Great conquered the Near East, and the city was renamed Heliopolis, a name which was retained by subsequent Roman conquerors: Helios, Greek for sun, and Polis, Greek for city, city of the sun. In the year 64 BC, Pompey the Great traveled through Baalbek and made the city part of the Roman Empire. This act was one which saw the city prosper enormously. Just 17 years later, in 47 BC, Julius Caesar founded a Roman colony in Heliopolis, and building work soon began. Just a few years later, Heliopolis became known as the foremost city in Roman Syria. Construction of the temples was a huge undertaking which took many years. The Great Temple of Jupiter is said to have taken 120 years to complete. However, under later rulers such as Antonius Pius and Caracalla, a series of enlargements and elaborate extensions were added. An estimated 100,000 slaves worked on these construction works throughout of the centuries. By the time that Constantine the Great came to power in the year 324, Christianity had reached Rome, and pagan worship was suppressed. As a result, construction at Baalbek was suspended. Later in 361, Julian the Apostate became emperor and reverted back to paganism and attempted to reinstate this throughout the Roman Empire. This act saw mass martyrdom throughout the Christian community, and when the Christian emperor Theodosius took power in 379, Christianity was once again reinstated in Baalbek. This time, the temples of Baalbek were converted into a basilica, but Baalbek continued to be the center of pagan worship. This was enough that during the reign of Emperor Justinian, all pagan worshippers were forced to be baptized into the Christian faith to prevent any secret pagan rites. Parts of the pagan temples were torn down, and some of the temple's largest pillars were taken to Constantinople and used in the construction of Hagia Sophia. When Muslims took Roman Syria, they converted the temples of Heliopolis into a citadel and restored the city's original name, Baalbek. In the following centuries, the city was invaded by many empires. In addition to the devastation caused by humans, a chain of earthquakes in 1158, 1203, 1664, and 1759 caused the fall of many buildings, including 3 of the massive pillars from the Temple of Jupiter. Many of the city's Roman ruins can now be found within the Muslim fortifications. When the Muslims constructed their walls, they inadvertently helped to preserve the Roman ruins found within. Whilst under Ottoman rule, Baalbek was forgotten, and few people visited this once magnificent city. In 1751, 2 British architects, James Dawkins and Robert Wood, rediscovered this ancient site. However, it wasn't until 1898, when Kaiser Wilhelm II was on a tour of the Middle East, that serious study of the site began. The Kaiser immediately contacted the Sultan of Turkey to request permission to excavate the site fully. The following 7 years saw Baalbek begin to return to its former glory, with continual excavations and documentation taking place, and a steady stream of tourists coming to view this ancient city.